Hello, I'm Satoshi Yamamoto. Welcome back to my time bench. Today I'd like to go over how to make Biot body. First, let's look at the most common materials. Number one, the goose biots. I have tied mayfly body which is a goose, but bottom line, it's just too short. It's really very difficult to handle. This is size 14, but even a size 18 hooks, barely I can make it. And then after I chose the longer ones. So I'd rather keep these for apparently brown and white. Say is like a prince nymph. Yeah. So that's my first material. Then next, these are the turkey biots. These are these definitely my go-to. This is long. Here's a used one here. I use actually both sides. This is a one-hole wing. I use a I think technically this side is called the Biot, but this side has the same property as a goose, but it tends to be much longer and much easier to deal with. You can tie from small flies to large fly like size 12, dry fly. And then this side is even more versatile. You can make a nice body on the really small hooks, or sometimes you can wrap two at a time to make a bit to cover the longer chunk. Size for like size 14 or 12. I might need two barbs of this side, feather side we call it. And here's how to wrap these turkey feathers. And first, let's talk about when we work on the smaller hooks. This is size 18 standard dry fly, so size 18 and smaller. When I work on these hooks, small hooks, I actually just tie in. That's it, and I just wrap. Because I don't think up until upper third of this feather side doesn't make any difference. So for size 18 and smaller, that means like a Bailey's mayfly or midge patterns. In my boxes, I really don't worry, how to tie in. I just tie in and wrap it. It's still really nice looking body. Now let's talk about how to wrap on the larger hooks. This is size 14. Look close. See this side. This side is translucent, and then we call this side hairy side. And then we always want as we wrap translucent side facing the forward front end of the hook or the fly, and then the hairy side always the backward. And then this as I tie lots of flies, I came up with two patterns, two formulas, how to wrap, how to make it right. And first, I just tie in. I mean, I have played before, or if I tie this way, it's gonna wrap, but I figured that it doesn't really matter. Okay, now, as I kind of lift here, I can see the translucent side is facing forward, so I can just wrap. This first wrap is very important. Here we go. you always want to go wrap over the previous turn. Alright, now there's a second method that I discovered over the years. So now I use a different one, newer one. Okay, again, I just tie in, and then as I lift, now I can see that this side. Okay, let me do it again. I use a bit of thick area to show much better. Now I can see that the translucent side is facing backward, and then if I try to wrap and with this condition, what's going to happen is you cannot wrap over this hairy side, because hairy side is the one. Hairy side is the one that makes that the segmented body, so you cannot wrap over. And then what I do is pick up here, hold and lift, and then I'm gonna kind of spin and fold. So now I can see that the translucent side is facing this way, and then the hairy side is facing rear end of the fly. So I'm gonna wrap. It's all move. Let's do it again. Let's all move. Okay. It looks like the hairy side is facing forward. So as you make the first wrap, for spin and fold. Now, as I make a first wrap, see the hairy side is facing the rear end of the hook. So next wrap goes over and look close, and as this is you can see much better when you do on your own. And then the hairy side is the one making ideal segmentation of the mayfly body. Here we go. Okay. And this is a biot side and biot side feather. Or maybe I should call biot side bob. And then okay. Like I said earlier, if I just wrap around here, it's really hard to tell. But so let's use some around like here, because with this length for the smaller hooks, like I said, size 18 and smaller, probably I can definitely take two flies, two bodies from this, one feather, one bob. So what's gonna happen is I want to use the upper end of this feather. So this is where I tied in, and I can tell hairy side is facing forward, and then the translucent side is facing backwards. So just as I make a first wrap, I hold, spin and folding this way. Here you go. Then I make a fast wrap. Now the hairy side is facing the rear end of the fly. So here we go. This is why I like this the turkey feather. Turkey wing biot, and both sides. Here you go. Now we come back to the partial fly from the previous video with a three-way split tail, and I mentioned in the video that with the body material, this tail may be splitting too much, but with the body material we'll set the tail at the right angle, and then apparently this time body material is the turkey biot. So again, I just tie in, and I can see if I try to wrap this, it's not going to be a good body, because hairy side is facing forward, and then the translucent side is facing backward. So I have to go my method number 2. I'm gonna hold and lift here, and then I'm going to spin and fold. No, again, first wrap is very important. Here we go. After first wrap, towards the second wrap, I can see that the hairy side is now facing the rear end of the fly. So I proceed. The next turn always go over the previous turn, and in that case, if the hairy side is facing the backward rear end of the fly, it makes really smooth transition, as it creates the ideal segmented mayfly body. Here we go, and then just work on the tail. Here's a split tail with turkey biot body, and then usually I add a cement under the biot, because this makes a nice solid and then a strong body, so it doesn't get chewed off. Compared to dabbing body, apparently this is a bit fragile compared to dabbing body with a wire rib or something. So this adding just tiny bit of effort keeps this fly longer.